Alrighty guys, what is up? Welcome back to Path of Exile Heist with LD7, and today we are going to be taking a look at the library, as well as hopefully completing Act 3 by going through the Scepter of the Gods. So first things first, we got to go ahead and travel through the Imperial Gardens in order to find all of our stuffs. So not a big deal, we should be able to do that pretty easily. And here's the library, so that was pretty lucky, we found that fairly quickly. Now the library is pretty damn cool. Once you finish, clearing out and finding the waypoint, it's actually one of the best places in the map because you can buy all of the low-level gems from the library. So with that in mind, we will go ahead and see. So I'm just going to raise our Spectre right here. This giant skeleton dude should be pretty good as far as, like having a Spectre is concerned. The only downside with this is he is a physical attacker, so he has to run up and actually attack him in order to do damage, but you know what? I don't really care about that. It's better to have a Spectre up than not at all. But you don't really want to waste it on one of these lower key kind of guys. You want to get a bigger enemy with a large life pool, or that does a specific damage type that synergizes well with your build. So we're just going to grab the skeleton for the time being. Here's the waypoint for the library so we can come back. So Siosa is the guy that'll sell it. Before he will sell you stuff, you have to go through and find some golden tomes. Pretty easy mini quest, all things considered. Basically, you just go in the part of the library behind him, and there will be some exclamation marks around that you can use to go ahead and get your golden tomes so you can buy your gems. With that being said, let's see. We're gonna try our best to find these tomes. With another thing to keep in mind, since we do have the library once we're able to buy our gems, so you got to find this loose candle first. It'll open up the archives, go into the archives, and this is where the tomes are going to be. So the loose candle can spawn anywhere. Just look for it. It'll be a candle on the wall. Shouldn't be too difficult to find, all things considered, but that's what you're looking for to unlock the archives. And once you're in the archives, all you really need to do is figure out where these tomes are, find all of them, and then you'll be able to go ahead and get the rest of your stuff done as far as buying your gems is concerned. So there's an exclamation point we're going to work our way over. Hopefully, I guess we made a wrong turn, that's fine. So we got to run up this way most likely. Here we go. This should link up, and there's a second one that we've marked on the map now. So once you mark them on the map, it's pretty easy. So you just open the book stand, you get a golden page. There's 4 of them. So the quest will update for you as well and tell you how many you have left. But just in case, you're not paying attention to that or don't want to pay attention to that, there's 4 of them total. So once you find all 4, you'll be able to buy the gems from the dude outside the library. Anyway, so we've got 2 pages mapped. We're gonna go get this one, and we just mapped the 3rd page, so that's pretty good. We'll take it. Now we're gonna get this one. And so what I was saying is, at this point, you're gonna want to start looking for gear with the correct socket colors linked, so you can get your gem combo set up the way you're supposed to. We'll kind of talk about that once we finish this little mini quest and everything. Now, I went ahead and bought all the gems on my character that's beaten the game, and the reason why I did that is it's a lot easier for me they're cheaper to buy them there than directly from the library guy. So we, technically speaking, don't even really need to do the library quests for this character, but I wanted to show you, if this is a League Start character for you, you definitely can play this League Start as well and get the gems that you need. So going to the library is definitely a detour you want to take. We're probably going to go Yeah, we're going to go for Feeding Frenzy support. We already have that gem, but whatever. So if you go into purchase items, he's going to have a bunch of skill gems you can purchase, right? You can search using this little guy down here. What I'd suggest is use your Path of Building or open up the build guide that I have linked down in the description to see what gems you need. We're going to go back to the Sarn encampment because I've got all my gems inside of my stash tab. And we're just going to kind of go over what you should be looking for. So if I go to page 2, all these gems down here are the ones you're going to want to implement into your build. So we've got a decent amount. I mean, you know, you're going to want to find equipment with the correct sockets. So like, for example, this one you need a red and 4 blues to build your boots out. 4 blues for this one. 2 red, 2 blues, a green, 2 blues, a red, and 2 blues, and this will give you a pretty good build. With that being said, some of these you can't use yet, right? So like Stone Golem, you have to be level 34. We're only level 33, so we can't use that combo quite yet. But it adds another minion, and these help give you life regeneration, so they will make you a little bit less squishy. So you want to try to hit level 34 so you can equip this gem into one of your sockets, right? It's going to help you out a lot. So we are a little bit low on strength as well. So we kind of want to look and see. So there's strength points down here, which we're ultimately going to take, but I'm just looking, is there one that's maybe closer? Doesn't look like it, so that's fine. What you can do, there is some equipment that gives you strength. Now, I've got equipment from my other character, so I've upgraded my armor and my boots on my other character. So we've got a 4-link blue boots that we could use, and this would really help for our Raise Spectre gem. So we can at least get that kind of set up, since that is kind of your main DPS set. So what I'm going to do is we have to decide. So, I mean, these Wanderlust shoes are great. They give us move speed, but at this point, I really want to have the slots, right? So I want these 4 slots so I can put my Raise Spectre gem inside. And then if we go back, we need control damage or controlled destruction support. This one's leveled, so we'll put that in. Feeding Frenzy support goes in there. And it is minion damage support as well. So that is going to make our specters really, really strong now that we've got those all linked. Once we go ahead and upgrade or level up one more time, we're going to try to put these inside of our gloves since we've got the sockets on that. We could also take a look at, so we don't need these 3 gems anymore. We've got Desecrate we're going to want to keep for later. What else could we potentially implement at this point? So these gems are going to require 38, so we can't do this quite yet. These ones, we need more strength to do the reds, but we could get the blues set up at least. Now these 4 gems are going to be different from the build guide that I have linked below. My first episode for this Path of Exile series, I went over some League start defensive boots. That's what these 4 gems are for. It builds out those defensive boots, which are kind of fun. I really like them anyway, so you can play with that if you want. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna see if I can buy a better helmet with the sockets we're looking for. So you can buy from the vendors as well. You don't always get good stuff. So like, I could buy the soldier helmet. It's got 3 blues and a red, so that's actually a pretty good socket combination for us. So I think I'm going to. Before I equip it though, I'm going to go ahead and use an Orb of Alchemy right here on it, so we at least get some extra buffs. So we get increased accuracy, life, fire resistance, so that's actually pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and swap out the helms because we need to resocket our Raging Spirit to begin with, since that's our main damage support. So on this, we're going to put Summon Phantasm, we're going to put Arcane Surge, and really we want to use something else. So we could put this. No, that's probably not worth it. Wrath, Skitterbot. So we could put Skitterbots on there. That could be good. That'll put more minions on the map for us, but we... Oh, it's a red slot, duh. Alright, so this is probably... Like, that's probably the best we're gonna get. So we'll just leave that as is. On the other ones, we can put Skitterbots on this to begin with. So Skitterbots and Wrath combo pretty well. And then in the third one, we're going to put Generosity support. That's the closest on the strength level for us. So technically speaking, we can equip this gem. We just don't have the strength stat requirement in order to equip it quite yet. But no worries, we'll get there. It's just a matter of time, honestly. So let's go over to Hargan. We're going to sell out these items just so we can empty out our inventory again. And now we're kind of ready for the boss fight. So the boss is at the Scepter of the Gods. As I've said before, this is where, well, in my opinion, this is where you get the first real jump in difficulty, is the Act 3 boss. Now this Quartz Flask we're going to want to use as well. That is actually part of the build, is to have a Quartz Flask. Now, I do want it to have some extra modifiers, so immunity to ignite. I want to re-roll those. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take out a stack of these. So 1 charge when you're hit, 27 additional. Oh, that's actually pretty good. So the elemental resistances that you get on this is actually a very good buff. So I'm going to go ahead and swap that out for flask number 4. Now, another thing we could consider doing is selling this. Well, we need another giant flask, I guess, before we can do that. Let's see. Let's see if we can do this vendor recipe to add move speed to these boots. So I just want one of these. I'm pretty sure it's like this. We'll see if it works. It might only be on white boots. No. Make sure you unsocket your gems before you try doing this. Otherwise, you will lose your gems, which you don't want to do. Just because you'll have to go rebuy them, which kind of is a pain in the ass. So, alright, it's not going to work, and that's fine. It's most likely because we don't have they're not white, so since they're a yellow level as opposed to a white level, we can't add this flask for move speed. That's alright, not the end of the world. We're just going to go ahead and do that. This Foreboding Giant Mana Flask, we're going to go ahead and sell. It doesn't really hurt us at this point. You can, if you get... So, like, this is a Colossal Life Flask. If we mix this Mana and Life Flask together, so I sell both of these to a vendor, it'll become a Colossal Hybrid Flask. So a Hybrid Flask will heal both your life and your mana at the same time. So those can be pretty good. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. Like, we're doing fine. It's not a big deal. I just thought I'd mention that. So back to the Imperial Gardens. Let's go to the Scepter of the Gods and see if we can't finish off the act, which we should be able to do. I mean, we've got more stuff now, so let's just do this. This is going to level up. I am going to just kind of change my stuff around a little bit. So Skitterbots I'm going to put on my mouse 4. It does reserve some of your mana, but it summons another 2 minions onto the map. This is... Frostblink should be bound to this, not to T. We've got Stormbrand. So let's put Raise Spectre on T for now. And we can kind of pick what we want to raise as far as our Spectre's concerned. We want to find a good monster, primarily. So here's our locked door. We'll open it up. And then this will take us to the Scepter of the God, where the Act 3 boss is located. You go through the Scepter of the God, I forget how many levels it is, it's like 2 or 3, and then from there, you're able to attack the boss. So, there we go, kill some stuff. And you're going to have a bunch of gems leveling up right after you visit the library, just because you will have fresh gems, right? So, the amount of XP it takes to level up your gems it's consistent across the levels, so since we're gaining a lot of XP over here, it's going to do good. So we'll just take this little bird dude for the time being. because he does have a ranged attack, which will be useful for us, or should be useful for us. But we're going to take this Colossal Life Flask, because I wouldn't mind getting a Colossal Hybrid Flask. Like, it would be better than having 2 Life Flasks, if that makes sense, because then I've got a mana, a life, and a mana and life flask that we can use. So we're going to try for that. Not a big deal. You can kind of play with your flasks how you want, and kind of go from there. So when you have your Skitterbots up, since it reserves your mana, you have a smaller mana pool overall. So that can sometimes be a little bit difficult to deal with if you're not used to it. So make sure you've got a good mana flask. Ours is set to where it restores when the timer runs out, as opposed to over the duration. So just bear that in mind. If you've got a similar flask like ours, you're going to want to be paying attention to your mana bar a little bit more closely, and as it starts to get low, pop it before you run out of mana. That way you can continuously cast, otherwise you're not going to be as effective as you could be. With that being said, I mean, we're doing fairly well. Like, once we hit level 35, I am going to go ahead and use that 4-link blue chest piece that I've got inside of my stash tab, just because that's a really good armor. I've used that on my first time playing this build through League Start, all the way up until literally like 20 minutes ago, when I was able to get... well, I've had a 6-link, or a 6 blue socket armor piece for a while. I've been wasting Orbs of Fusing trying to get it to link all 6 slots. I got pretty lucky. It linked 5 of them, so I went ahead and equipped that for the time being. Realistically, if you've got a 6-socket item, don't waste your Orbs of Fusing. It's like a 1 in 1700 chance that you'll get all 6 of the sockets linked. So, I mean, you gotta spend a fuck ton of Orbs of Fusing, and they're fairly rare. Even when you're able to grind currency really fast, like, they're rare. So bear that in mind. With that being said, we are doing okay as far as this goes. Like, as you can see, like, our minions are getting significantly stronger. So here's a Colossal Mana Flask. If we sell that in the Life Flask to a vendor, we can get a Colossal Hybrid Flask. Now, granted, this is a rare one, so we might want to take a look and see kind of what we get. So Upper Scepter of the God. We still have a little bit more map grinding to do before we get to the boss, so that's fine. I think that was level 35 ticking in, so, or actually level 34. Cool. So we should actually be able to use our Summon Golem gem, assuming we get the strength increase that we need, which actually is quite a bit, so we probably can't use that one quite yet. Not a big deal. We just gotta find like an amulet or piece of equipment that will give us the strength, an increase in strength, which they are around. They're actually fairly common, so just be on the lookout for that. Like, if you find an amulet that increases your strength, might be worth wearing, because having those stone golems really increases the sustainability of this build, because you get a fair amount of life regen per second from having those guys spawned. In addition, they are another minion, so, you know, they're doing damage for you and all that good stuff too. Anyway, so there we go, killing some stiffs, killing some more stiffs. It's fairly easy. I mean, like, we shouldn't have too much of an issue, even though this boss is stronger than like any of the bosses we've fought thus far have been. I think we're still going to do okay. When I did this map, or this act, at League Start, I was playing in a party, and when you play with other players, the bosses get an increased life pool, and they become harder. So it was really difficult playing with 4 dudes, including myself, obviously, in that. So I'm kind of curious to see how tough this dude is, you know, when you're just going on your own solo, because in theory he should be a little bit easier, is my hope anyway. Maybe not, like, we'll find out, I guess. But, oh, it's actually over this way. So, there we go. Tower rooftop is where the boss fight happens. So, before we do that, we're going to go in. We're going to take Spiritual Command. And I am going to portal back to town real fast. And we're going to go get that hybrid flask. I know we're at the 20-minute mark. Once we get this hybrid flask, I just want to show you how you do that. We're going to go take out the boss and be done. So, normally, Colossal... Oh, is it because it's a superior? That's dumb. Normally this works. Do I need to throw in a transmutation? I thought it was just you throw in the 2 flasks and that was it. So, alright, that's fine. We can't make a hybrid flask. I don't really need it anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it. We'll just sell all this shit out. Cool. Let's drop off our currency, and let's go fight the Act 3 boss, guys, and see if we get wrecked. We probably won't. Like, I'm not actually concerned about getting wrecked by this dude. Nope, we don't want the waypoint. We want to take our portal, so we're back at the entrance and don't have to reclimb the tower. So we've got a Spectre, we've got our Skitterbots, we've got our 5 zombies, so we should be good to go. I mean, I wish I had a better Spectre, but that's okay. We'll see how this plays out. With that being said, we go up, and this is the boss, the little magic dude. And this one has like multiple stages, so it kind of introduces you to the idea of staged boss fights, which is kind of fun, in my opinion. He also spawns totems and stuff like that, so just bear that in mind. Once we drop him the first time, he is going to get harder, so just pay attention to your life, pay attention to your mana. So like that, he did a fuck ton of damage right there, and I don't even think that was the actual boss, so like, just be careful, because you will get dropped. Also, you're probably going to lose your zombies really fast because they aren't that strong yet, so keep those dudes up if you can, because it will help you with your clear ability. Okay, we need to pop this flask. Come on, flask. Sometimes, like, that's the downside to the restore all at the end, is it does kind of make it a little bit tougher to keep things going. So we are going to raise another Spectre. I know that's a garbage minion or monster to use as a Spectre, but it's okay. So here we go. Now the big boy's going to come down. Yep. So not a big deal. We're doing okay. Wow. Okay. So he does a mix of damage, so try to avoid as much as you can hit-wise, otherwise you will get dropped really fast. Like, those spirits probably hit really fucking hard, so bear that in mind. I think that was just the first phase, so he's now going to turn into this, like, giant-ass fucking monster dude. Yeah. So this is where it gets hard, because this guy has a lot of one-shots. Yeah, watch out for those little portal things, because it kind of predicts where he's going to go next. So just be cautious, I guess, is the best advice I can give you. We are constantly taking damage. Fuck. I don't even know what's attacking me right there. I mean, I guess the rain? Anyway, that's fine. So we died. Not the end of the world. It's because we lost all of our stuff, so whatever. Increasing our zombies will help. So let's get these dudes summoned. We're going to go ahead and pop the potion now, because we're going to need it. Also, watch out for... Alright, cool. We got him. So, not too bad. We did take that death. I'm not 100% sure why. My guess is that when the map turns red and it starts doing the blood rain, it just constantly damages you, which is kind of stupid, but whatever. So Act 4 should be around here somewhere. So find the exit to Act 4. It's right over here. So you go through the aqueduct to get to Act 4. But guys, that is the end of Act 3. So we were able to finish Act 3. This is the pathway over to Act 4. So we'll cover starting Act 4 next time. If you enjoyed the episode today, be sure to like, comment, subscribe as always. And until next time, this has been Lone Debater 7, and we will see ya.